then the better team always shine. What I mean by that is that in the regular season, you can catch someone off guard. You can eat them in the mouth. You are coming off a back-to-back, a 3-game road trip.
What got us the lead most of the times, game 1 and game 2, we usually deviate from them, especially after the first half.
Let's not start on the Bible says that if the foundation has been destroyed, what can the righteous do? Let's not start the conversation. Let's not start the conversation on a bad foundation. There was vanishing word. Say what you use now. You use
vanishing chat on Instagram. There's vanishing chat on Instagram.
That stuff you use. The vanishing chat. Disappearing Snapchat. I don't even have Snapchat. That's how you know Olosho's among us.
If all the ladies you are meeting are those that will constantly bill you at every hello you send to them, it probably shows that something is wrong with you.
You need to check yourself.
You need to check yourself, because why is that every girl when once you say hello, they are that time. Once you try to check up on them, that's the particular time they will remember that their renters want to finish. Like
after finish, make we dey go. My guy pay for only himself.
Brother,
what's going on here?
Those that do not know, women spend money on guys that they like. Forget it. It's not a debate.
Preach. The full phrase was, if you know feel press, clear. If you know feel press. So Jesse, they will be the end of us. They will be the end of all of us.
No, I don't think. But there's one thing I like Gen Z for, actually, guys. There's one thing I like Gen Z for. One thing I like them for is that they're never shy. See, we as millennials, and some things we cannot say. Gen Z can tag anybody.
Clippers have Paul George, Kawhi, Russell Westbrook the series. So as you imagine how much they have spent on those three. Philadelphia has been spending money, has been giving what's the name? Tobias Harris 40-something million every year for him to be scoring 8 points in the playoffs. Good. Warriors fans are over pampered, entitled bunch.
And I blame Steph Curry.
I don't remember that before Steph Curry started, before he became the chef, he alone Jewa.
Anyway, Element will probably join us as we go. It's about us, and I don't think me and Bolish are flying solo anyway. Like I mentioned, Element will join us as we go, but the show must go on. Right before we started recording this, Bolish was talking about the playoffs, and because for some reason, if you see the way the Western Conference had been during the regular season, you would think come playoffs is going to be like world war, like they're going to battle it out with each other, break each other's necks or something, or find a way around it. And the playoffs starts, and suddenly you are wondering, the Wolves are dealing with the Suns. You don't understand? It's almost like I see the Suns are non-existent. They have the big three, and the young Timberwolves team is telling them, like, we even saw Anthony Edwards doing that thing that he was doing, and we're like, okay, what's going on? The Lakers won yesterday, but it's been smooth sailing for Denver. They won 3 straight games. Then you have Russell Westbrook fighting on the field, on the court instead of playing. And the Mavericks have a 2-1 lead, and will probably go 3-1 up if Kawhi doesn't show up. And you're wondering, where is all the energy you brought? As in, OKC is 3-0 up over Pelicans. I'm wondering, where is all the fights and vigor you guys promised us for the playoffs? We saw these things in the regular season. Where is it?
So I think one thing that is going on is that in the playoffs, there's opportunity to prepare for the other team, and then the better team always shine. What I mean by that is that in the regular season you can catch someone off guard, you can eat them in the mouth. You are coming off a back-to-back, a 3-game road trip. Someone is injured at that point in time. Someone does not play. But in the playoffs, if both teams are fully fit, what usually happens most, and that's why it's rare for you to see an 8 seed defeat a 1 seed. Because when it comes to the playoffs, there's like a 1 week preparation for the playoffs. You learn your matchups, You learn who you are playing against. You have 2 games break in the first between the first 3 games. You have 2 days breaks in between. So what that means is that a good team or a better team will be able to adjust before the next game and do the right thing. So most times, playoffs, the better team shines. And yes, as much as we want or we expected that there'll be a war zone in the Western Conference, I think the war zone is still coming. I think first round matchups, most times, except there's that close of a parity, it's always like this. Yeah, there'll be a series that will be maybe a bit funny, but most times, first round matchup, there will always be one better team showing up and then taking care of business. The playoff matchup that will have been a bit more closer will have been the Pelicans and OKC, but their best player got injured just before the playoffs. So when your best player who scores like 25, 6 and 5 without even breaking a sweat is injured, it completely changes the dynamics of the team. And then the second best player did not play almost 30 games before that. He was injured. He's just come back from injury. That's Brandon Ingram. So when you have stuff like that, that can screw the game. But for the Minnesota and the Suns matchup, I think it's very clear that you cannot microwave a team to championship. You can't just patch players together because they have names and think you can go to the championship. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, even though Suns swept them in the regular season, they're actually a bad matchup for the Suns.
Phoenix.
Because for Phoenix. Because if you look at the way they play, one of the main things that Phoenix has going for them is that they have 2 players that can go for 40 points. And they can go for 40 points every night. If you look at even the series against Denver last year, the way they were able to do anything in that series and win 2 games was because Devin Booker and KD both went for 40 point games back to back. So when you have situations like that, it always makes it dicey and it makes it funny. And
I think you've hit the nail on the head, because the reason why a lot of people said, okay, the Suns would do well in the Western Conference was you have Devin Booker and KD who can score 40 in their sleep. Then you have Bradley Beal who would give you 25 on a bad night. You get pure scorers.
So, but the thing there is, when you have
Jaden McDaniel,
before we even go to the point guard conversation, when you have a Jaden McDaniels, when you have a Nasrid, when you have Anthony Edwards, who are willing. So it's one thing to know how to defend the perimeter. It's one thing to be ready and willing to say, this series, so whatever is going to happen. See the game 2. Anthony Edwards was not scoring the way he scored in game 1, but
the defense was 126 plus.
Apart from even the scoring, I'm talking about the defense now. I'm talking on the defensive end. The defense to make sure that, okay, I'll fight over screens. And they have Nasri, they have Karl Anthony Towns, they have Rudy Gobert. And what they are doing, what they're basically doing this series is that, okay, we know you guys are scoring specialists. Devin Booker and KD, you are one of the best. We will make you drive into the paint. We don't want you to be on the perimeter dancing. We will push up on you and make sure you are driving to the paint. And when you drive into the paint, what's happening? It makes it easier for Rudy Gobert to be effective. Because if we are switching and allowing Rudy Gobert to come to the perimeter, that's when you can dance with Rudy Gobert, and then you can now start driving to the cup easily. But when Rudy Gobert is the one protecting the paint and waiting for you, there's a reason why he has won 3 defensive players of the year, even though some people say he does not deserve all of them. But still, so that's the first thing. And that defensive effort is just there. You see it every possession. Picking up 94 feet, making sure that you are making them uncomfortable. And it's now easier to do that because Suns don't have a natural point guard. Bradley Beal is not a natural point guard. Devin Booker is not a natural point guard. If they had a natural point guard, we say Chris Paul, for example, it probably make it easier, beat those press coverages, deliver the ball to KD and Devin Booker where they want it in the mid post where they can go to work. So it's a combination of a lot of factors. Bad matchup, Minnesota having a lot of lengthy, physical guys who are willing to sacrifice. They don't mind scoring 2 points so far they defend. So when you have players like that, it just changes the dynamics of the whole series. And the best player is willing to defend like that too.
But let's point out coaching, for example. Now you mentioned something about adjustment and stuff like that, because I saw the second game between OKC and the Pelicans, where as soon as the game started in the first quarter, Jonas Valanciunas went into the paint and was dominating. on both sides of the floor. Both sides of the floor. Then McGugan, out coach of OKC, decided, you know what? Let's go Boston. Let's play Celtics for a second. Let's go 5 out. Where suddenly Porzingis was at the perimeter. Valanciunas needed to go and meet him there at the perimeter. Then the likes of Jalen Williams and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander could go. And there was no way Jonas Valanciunas would leave Porzingis out because he's a deadly shooter. I said Porzingis, Chet Holmgren. I beg your pardon, Chet Holmgren. Holmgren can shoot. So Valanciunas had to go and meet him at the perimeter. Then he created space. I know Frank Vogel has won an NBA championship with the Lakers and she's a defensive specialist. But so far this series, yes, lack of point guard and so many other things. I've not seen anything from him that to go, okay, you know what? I still have something.
So I can't blame Frank Vogel. Yes, maybe there are a couple of things he could have, because if you watch those games, maybe there are a couple of things he could have done that could make the games a bit closer and not be a blowout. Because I think the first game was a blowout, like 20 points, and they cut it down a little bit. The truth is, the Suns team, other than the 5-man rotation, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, KD, then they round up with Nurkic and
Christian Allen.
Now Nurkic, for some reason, is scared of boxing anyone out for getting rebounds. Yes, he gets rebounds, but he does not. He's not gritty enough. That's one. Christian Allen is not the biggest guy on the court. Okay, after that 5-man rotation, who else is coming off the bench? You have Eric Gordon, Josh Okogie, Bobo. You have a very, very thin roster. A very, 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 very thin roster, and because they are top heavy. And if you are top heavy like that, and your main characters don't mesh, it's always going to be a problem for you. In the playoffs is when the top heavy guys, the top heavy will play for 2 minutes each so that they can get the job done. But when you are top heavy and then you don't have they are not blending, because Bradley Beal is supposed to play like he's supposed to probably be the one to play like a 1, but it's not a natural 1. And the tendencies to continue to play as a 2 always shows. You see it that he's trying to play like a 2. So that's something that I think that yes, maybe a couple of adjustments, but the matchup, there's some things you just play that you just feel like this matchup is not our matchup. This matchup is just bad for us. With the way we like to play, with the way they like to defend, with the kind of set we run, this matchup is not just good for us. How many teams have a JD McDaniels that is 6'9", that is long, athletic, that can move his feet and mark and defend Kevin Durant appropriately? There are very few teams that have that kind of player. Maybe Pelicans with this guy, F. Jones. Who else has a long 6'9" guy that can move his feet? There are very few teams that have that kind of player. So sometimes you just have that, that bad matchup, and then
there's usually a matchup problem. But if the Suns had played better during the regular season, I probably would have said, "Oh, it's 100% a matchup problem." LMJ, I want to apologize for saying that you guys will be swept. You guys won yesterday night. I don't know how happy you are, but at least I don't know how happy you are, but at least you guys won yesterday night. You were not swept. It's 3-1 now. And if you had played better in game 2, who knows? Maybe this series is probably 2-2 now. If you had not thrown away that 20-point lead in game 2. But as a Lakers fan, are you looking at it that, okay, maybe you can go to Denver and win another game?
I don't really see us doing that, because I feel like what got us the lead most of the times, game 1 and game 2, we usually deviate from them, especially after the first half. From third quarter and fourth quarter, you will see the Lakers making plays that are not organized, almost like they just go into that zone and be like, you know what, let's just play this thing. We are ballers now. We understand this thing.
Sorry to interrupt you. That means you agree with AD when AD said we don't have a plan. We don't know what we are doing.
Yes, they don't. If you watch the games, if you after the games, if you slow down their plays and you watch some of their plays, like it's almost like there's no plan after the second quarter. That is the way they've been playing, especially the first 2 games, particularly the first 2 games. The first 2 quarters, we play very well. There were times where they would double up on Jokic. There was time where they would play the inflated screens. But third quarter is just like everybody, Nobody's taking up positions. Nobody's going through the back corridor. The plays we ran in the first 2 quarters, we just stopped running them. It's almost like somebody bewitched the team. I'm like, okay, is it like you guys, whenever there's a timeout, you guys don't even discuss anything? You're just like, you know what? We are leading 20. We are leading by 20 points. Like, how can you let up double-digit leads multiple times? Like, it shows something is wrong somewhere. We understand the fact that the guys we are playing are a little bit smarter than us. Obviously, you would see Hachimura struggling, even when he's the best to actually mark Jokic. He struggles at times. He's like, should I go for the screen? Should I come back? Like, I think it was game 2. There was a particular play in the third quarter where he was just in limbo in the middle of the paint. And I'm like, Oga, mark this guy. You know, there's an height mismatch between him and James. So obviously, you're supposed to cover up this gap. Baba is just in the middle. He wants to go. He wants to block. He wants to screen. He's not so sure of what he's supposed to do. So I feel like if we can just come with a plan and play to the plan, even when the plan is not faultless, but at least if you are playing to a plan, everybody knows what we are coming to the court to do. It's not like we're just winging it. After the third quarter, we just start winging it. Our shooting efficiency drops from the third quarter. Our play organization drops from the third quarter. Like, it is a pattern. So once you can't correct that, and not like it has not been done before, but I don't see us doing it against this particular team. Like we've said over and over in this pod, I think it would have been better if we were 8th seed. Just lose that first playing, then go for the 8th seed. But it is what it
is. I don't want to spend too much time focusing on the Western Conference because for our viewers watching, what is having to go look over his neck because the game between the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks, the game 4 is actually going on. He's trying to figure out what's happening. And Bonish, when you look at the Eastern Conference, it felt like, okay, Boston Celtics, Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler, smooth sailing. Yes, the Celtics won yesterday night, game 3. But when you see what happened in game 2, you're like, I know for a fact that if Miami Heat should win this series, definitely Joe Mazzulla is looking for another job. It's not a debate. But if he starts to go 6 games, even I myself will start to question him that this is his 3rd year, I believe, or his second year on the job. He should know better at this point.
So it's not even a matter of winning the series. He has to win the championship. They have the best squad in the NBA. They have the best perimeter defense. They have Joe Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, Al Horford, Derrick White. They should get to the final, obviously, because even in the East, yes, there are some teams playing quality basketball, but they are not playing as close to the Celtics. But the problem they've had all season, and people have observed, is that if they are not hitting their threes, meaning the way they hit their threes, 10 threes in the first half, open up a gap and play you like that, it becomes a problem because their execution is very poor. I don't know why the pick and roll between Drew Holiday and Porzingis is not featured more, or the pick and roll between Drew Holiday and Jason Tatum is not featured more, because you cannot have those weapons and then the only thing every time you are bombing threes. I don't know why Jason Tatum doesn't try or plan to shoot at least 10 free throws per game. I want to
ask you something for a second there. You mentioned Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday. There was a recent comment about Drew Holiday, and I understand his frustration because most times on their offense, is the point guard. He's supposed to run the offense, and it feels like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the ones taking turns to run the offense. Then he's a perimeter player, and I'm wondering, I don't think this is how it should be.
That's why they are struggling. That's why they are struggling because you need to make sure that you have a proper point guard running your offense. Yes, the 2 and 3 can bring up the ball occasionally, but the point guard has to, because you need your point guard to touch the ball so that they can scout and see the setup, see what is going on, see what the defense is feeding you, and interpret and know the best person to get the ball per possession. So point guard gets the ball, it's their job to read the defense. Oh, I see that. Okay, this set they are running, this defensive set they are running. Okay, for this one, we need a post pinch up. And the best person to get this ball right now is Porzingis. for this point, we need Jason Tatum to drive to the basket. But like, then you need to allow your point guard be a point guard. And I think they probably need, if Mazzulla does not get it done, they probably need a coach with a strong voice that can come in and tell Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, okay, you have been doing it your way in the last 5 years. Yes, you have been successful to an extent based on talent, but to win the championship, you cannot just rely on your talent. Your skill has to match, your skill and IQ has to match up with your talent, according to what all the greats say, LeBron James and what they talk about basketball. Your skill, your IQ, your processing has to match up with the talent you have. So if you watch the game against Miami, it's obvious that Eric Spoelstra was coaching circles around Mazzulla. That's number one. Number two, once game gets tight, for some reason, the Celtics are not able to execute, and it's very predominant to what happened during the season. So they have to, I don't know if they can get that hit during these playoffs. I don't know. But they have to feature Jrue Holiday more, because Jrue Holiday can handle the ball properly, give it to the right person. He can get whoever needs to be involved, get them involved. And they have a proper 5-man rotation that can do the job, that can defend at a high level and shoot the ball. So if Mazzulla does not make the changes needed, I'm sure he knows that if he does not win, you have the most expensive player in the history of the NBA. You have all the, one of the biggest, what's it called? One of the most expensive squad. So you have to get it done.
Is it just me, or is Bolish experiencing technical difficulties? LMJ?
I can hear him clearly. I'm guessing.
So
is his video breaking?
Because when I was talking, your own video paused and we could hear your voice, but you were just static for a while.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out where the network issue is from.
Or you guys can hear me clearly.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just that the way the video is going. Yeah, sticking with the playoffs, I know I mentioned Celtics and Celtics. I mentioned the Knicks and Sixers going on.
6-point game. Knicks leading by 6.
Knicks are currently leading the series 2-1. Then you have Indiana Pacers are leading the Milwaukee Bucks as well 2-1. And elementary, when Damian Lillard joined the Bucks, a lot of us thought, this is serious. Like Giannis, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, and the rest of the gang with Damian Lillard. Yeah, if you're a Bucks fan, you can say, oh, Giannis has been injured, Lillard has gotten injured too. But the regular season, they were like this throughout regular season. They kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. And the only reason they maintained the second seed, or was it the third seed, was because of how less competitive the Eastern Conference is. And now Lillard is out injured. He's probably expected to miss the fourth game. Giannis is injured. And at this point, you're like, maybe the Bucks just accept fate, get out of the playoffs, focus on Bolish's favorite coach in Doc Rivers, and see what next season was for them.
So at this point, whether they accept or they don't accept, they are going to chop it. I think that's that one. We need to agree. Whether Giannis, I think even if Giannis plays, they will chop it. I think Pacers are just better than the Bucks this season. I think they're just a better team. Maybe if Giannis now plays, because of Giannis in the playoffs, can go for 40, 50, 60 sometimes. Maybe they can win the series like that. But without Giannis, with just Dame, it's just exciting to me that at least all the game theft conversation will just die a peaceful natural death. There was some ruminations. There was some tidbits of, especially if you remember in 2021, there was a particular game before the Blazers played Warriors. Then there was a particular game that Dame came out to say, no more Kevin Durant, no more Clay. So Steph can see that it's not easy to get all those shots up. And that game, the next game, Steph came out and scored 62 points against Portland. And that's his career highest against Portland. And then the next season, Steph took a team, dragged their ass, because that team was not the best team by any means necessary. But he took a team and went all the way to the final and won the final. And we can almost say that one of the people that have been in the way of people like Steph, Ajin, people like Dame Ajin is Chef Curry. So I just want to see the magic that wants to happen in this game 4. If the Melilla does not come out and go for 40 something, I don't think they are going to win because Middleton went for 40 something. The reason why Dame's 40 something points is more important than Middleton's 40 something points is that the way Dame scores opens the floor easily for other players. And when Dame is cooking like that, they have to adjust their defense because Dame's threes is just like Steph's three sometimes. It's devastating. One 3-pointer can be like 5 points because of the way it comes. So you have to adjust to him because and he can score back to back like 4 3-pointers in a row. So because of that, you are overreacting sometimes and then you open spaces, for dishing and stuff like that. So Dame has come out aggressive and he has to his plan this for their next game has to be that I'm going for 40, 50. Because if not, they will go back to Milwaukee 3-1 down.
Whether they go back to 3-1 down or not, I don't think the Bucks are expected to do anything magical this season because it's been a disappointing season by massive standard for them. Away from the NBA playoffs and itself, down to other, I think now we can focus on Polish's specialty. Because the other day I was online and I was reading where someone was saying, "Oh, I went through my boyfriend's phone and I found out I was cheating."
Wait. Whose specialty? I don't understand.
Polish, let's not do this. Let's not do this.
No.
Polishing made it happen 8 days ago. I also saw his thing.
Let's not start on no. The Bible says that if the foundation has been destroyed, what can the righteous do? Let us start the conversation. Let's not start the conversation on a bad foundation. Let us start the conversation on a healthy, strong foundation. And to start that, we have to avoid lies. No lies, please. You can go ahead.
What do you mean by avoid lies? Nobody's lying here. Like, no, this is your specialty. This is what you're good at.
Inner eyes, third eye. I can sense the lie coming, but go ahead.
But this is what you are good at now.
What are you good at?
See, okay,
speak up. What are you good at?
Okay, let me ask you now. Being that this is what you are good at,
let's just get to the nitty-gritty of it.
Let's just get to the nitty-gritty of the conversation. Whether you think I'm lying or not.
Yes, tell us what you are good at. So, yeah.
I'm asking you now that if you were the one that your babe goes through your phone and you have been caught cheating, what is your own defense going to be? Because some people will be like, "Oh, you shouldn't have gone through my phone." Oh no, like that's not how it seems. You're reading it wrongly. Like, as the specialist that you are, would you go the emotional blackmail route or would you accept it that okay, I did it, and
so to answer the question, the first thing is that I don't have real life experience of what you're talking about because
real men. Let's not do this again. Stop.
No. Let us break it down. Let us break it down. I don't have, sometimes some things you don't have first-hand experience. You don't know how it feels or what the tactics is that you guys use. You don't know what the protocol is.
Police, you don't have to do this every week.
Wait. Sometimes you don't know the protocol that people like Wale use. So you just have to assume. You have to observe people like Wale and get information and say, okay, this is how you do it. So in my head, in the first place, I don't think you can except the person is not like someone you're in love with. I don't think you can use the "why are you going to my phone" tactics because except the person is not someone you are liking. Let me not use the word love. Except the person is not someone you are in a serious relationship with. I don't think you can use the emotional blackmail of "why are you going to my phone," because if you're in a serious relationship with someone, meaning you guys are looking to the future, to being together, even if you're not looking to marriage, even if you're just looking to staying together or looking to have children together, whatever. Looking at your phone is almost like a rite of passage, I think. Yes, stay on your phone, stay on my phone. But I think that you cannot use that excuse when you have been caught. Did you guys get my
I
point?
get what you're saying. Yeah, well, we can hear you. Polish was still with you.
So I feel like based on limited life experiences and lack of experience, I don't have as much information to provide. But I feel like you can't use the emotional. You can't look at my phone. I think you probably have to, I don't know, come clean and then beg or something. I'm just trying to think. I don't think you can use why do you go through my phone
Okay.
approach.
See, I don't want to focus on the debate of your limited experiences, because we both know that's not what is going on here.
Give us more nuanced and more experienced information. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I'm struggling to hear Polish now. Elemeje, can you see him?
Yeah, I can hear him, but there's like there's
A lag?
skipping that happens. Yes, there's a lag that happens momentarily.
So what did you say? You said we should give you what?
I said you can give us a more nuanced and more experienced answer. Go ahead.
I don't see, Polish, your birthday was on Tuesday, and everybody on this pod and beyond could attest to the fact that you are the crowned prince of Yoruba angels. Let's not use the word demons and stuff like that. So why would you be looking at me for experience or example, nuanced answers? That's more of your own thing.
Because angels don't perpetrate the criminality you're talking about.
Elemeje, on a more serious note, Elemeje, I know that kind of. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I feel in that kind of situation or condition, as the case may be, I feel the best approach is just to come clean and try as much as possible to explain yourself without necessarily incriminating yourself. Like, oh, babe, it's not what
you think, or it's not what you are saying.
Yeah, so it's not emotional blackmail. You're like, oh yes, I'm guilty, but you know the way Polish runs the show now, like it's not that deep. We've not even seen or something like that. But I think more appropriately, the best thing would be to come clean and just seek recompense. Like, how can we make up for this? Apologize and try to restitute in whatever way, shape, or form, and not try to be dodgy, not try to play the blame game. Like, why are you looking at my phone? Like, at that point in time, that is not the issue. The issue is not why she looked at your phone. And some people might be comfortable enough not to check their partner's phone, but some people also need that as a means of security. Like, a lot of ladies, they need to be able to be self-assured that you are my man and my man alone. And the only way that they can always get that assurance is their ability to be 100% accessible to your chat history, to your contacts, to your and you'll be able to give explanation. Who is this? Why are you talking to your ex and stuff like that? And you'll be like, oh, she's not my ex. So it is that freedom, it is that express communication that assures a lot of ladies, not all of them, but it gives them that sense of assurance that, okay, this guy is mine. Like, this guy is for the cause. Because we're in a crazy time. Like, we have to be very sincere with each other. We're in a crazy time where
do you guys know our viewers out there, if you guys know why I'm blushing, I'm so proud now. Like, I know this is a different Elemeje. The one that ran terror in AU is retired, completely gone.
This is public defamation. So
it's about maturity and growth. Like, with the way you just answered this question now, like, I'm proud of him. Like, people change and people get better. You get, like, when you are serious, you are serious. Elemeje, it's nice to see that you have come this far. But on the most, like, if we're going to be serious about this, I feel like we're downplaying the skills of Polish and his fellow Yoruba angels.
You know what Wale's problem is? You know what Wale's problem is? He doesn't want to answer the question because he knows that it will give up his position.
Let me answer now. Let me answer. Just allow me answer.
Instead of him to go ahead, when all of us answered the question, we answered, we gave our opinion. But because he does not want to give us his position, he will first insert everybody's name. You know, dancing like a demonic snake in the Garden of Eden. Answer the question. You are the moderator. Why are you dancing? Why are you doing snake and belly dancing?
I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere.
Stay to the point.
Okay, I said I feel like we're downplaying the skills of Yoruba angels here, because even if you have your boyfriend's phone and his password, or maybe you clone the WhatsApp or what have you, there are men that the cheating is going to be on his steady, and you will not see anything. There's Snapchat, there's vanishing chat on Instagram.
Oh, vanishing chat. Okay. What else do
there's vanishing chat on Instagram. There's Snapchat.
What else do you do, Wale? Let us know. Yes, okay, he said vanishing. Go ahead. What else?
So, whether you think that going through his phone would solve the problem, or you will find out the answers that you're looking for,
you're mixing up. You're mixing up the question. The question is not whether going through the phone or not. The question is that you have gone through the phone and you have found,
and you've seen evidence.
So that means it's not about vanishing. What do you call it again?
Situation which I know I can't be.
What that you say? You're vanishing what?
Wait.
Say what you use now. You say you use
vanishing chat on Instagram. There's vanishing chat on Instagram.
That stuff you use. The vanishing chat. Disappearing Snapchat. Me, I don't even have Snapchat. That's how you know Olosho is among us. Anyway, do you have Snapchat?
I don't. Okay.
What did you say?
I have Snapchat. But there's only one person on this our discussion. Out of many Manimo that has Snapchat.
Sincerely, I got it once, but I just didn't understand the whole. Like, I didn't understand the app. Like,
I didn't. The only time there was one time I downloaded the app because they said you can record back and forth with someone. That's the only time I had the app and I deleted it. But there's someone that uses Snapchat to know the features. So yes, we know. But Professor,
actually, you don't have to be an active user of Snapchat to know that after 24 hours the chat goes away.
Oh man, I
don't know. You hear, Polish. You can hear.
I don't know that one, Seth. I don't know if it's
but
wait. But what I'm saying is, now they've caught you Wale with the evidence from the phone. What is your That's the question. That's the question you asked us now. That okay, your hand has been caught in the cookie jar. What will you do?
Okay, let's see. First things first. I don't cheat, so I won't be caught. Do you get? That's one. But if that happens and I get caught, wait now, let me finish now. If that happens and I get caught, you face it fair and square. I messed up. Do you get? But you can start it doesn't have to be emotional blackmail. You can start with the idea of, it's nothing too serious. She's just a side chick or something. Or you do the proper Yoruba demon vibe of, you are the one that I love. All these other babes don't matter to me. It's nothing out of the ordinary. We're just talking. Do you get? And to the real OGs, the OGs out there know that no matter what you do not be caught. Because if you are caught, there are some ladies that will deal with you 100%. Like they'll deal with you 100%. Whether it's emotional blackmail or forget the days of, I'm angry, you have to apologize. There are some ladies that they'll do their own back full time. And by the time they do their own back full time, and most times for we guys, we can't take it. And that's the reason why I live by the philosophy of, if I'm in a relationship, I don't want to cheat. Because I know for a fact that I can't take it if my partner is cheating. So I'll probably just face the relationship. Do you get? And besides, I'm a naturally gentle person. Bolish, don't tarnish my name, please. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was going through this particular video.
Anyway, helps you sleep at night.
Anyway, I didn't get that.
I say if it helps you sleep at night. You say you're a gentle person. I say if it helps you sleep at night.
I sleep well at night. Polish knows that I'm a gentle person. It's just like my image.
For you to know somebody that is a perpetual olosho, for the last 2 years, he has been saying if, when I'm in a relationship, if, when. For 2 years, if, when. It's not like, oh, I'm in a relationship for 3 weeks, so I'm in a relationship for how many? It's always if, when.
He's laying trap. You know, people like him, they don't want to appear entrapped. They have to appear available.
So that they can always get new praise.
That's exactly.
Spoken like the true master that the both of you are. I want to go to the bro code, please, before I go to AU Chronicles. Because Polish, the bro code states that you cannot date your friend's ex. Like, no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how close you are with the babe and stuff like that, you cannot date your friend's ex. But let's be realistic now, for example.
My friend give me permission.
Can you see? I spoke like a true G.
No. It's a simple question.
It's a simple caveat to the law now. It's just saying like.
You see, bro codes. You said bro code says you cannot.
Let me add an addendum in this now. What you're saying now is permission in the sense that if, for example, you and the babe have some sort of relationship and you guys like each other, are you saying like you can go and meet your friend and be like, oh, blah blah blah, I really like this babe, do I have a permission to proceed?
Maybe not like that. Maybe more in the line of even while they were dating. If your friend is someone like Wale and was like, that girl, it's not going anywhere. And then they now broke up, and the baby now say, this babe messaged me and say, hey, she said you can. I don't know. So
wait. Can we start answering questions without throwing shades left and right? I feel like
I'm not throwing shade. I'm not even throwing shade. I'm saying there are situations. So when you say X, there are different types of X's. So you get. There's X where they were serious, something happened, they broke up. That everybody knows they were serious. Okay, that one. I don't think you should. That one is. I don't think that's allowed. Except there's enough time that has passed. Everybody has moved on. You guys meet under maybe different circumstance or something like that happens, and maybe you probably did not even really know her like that. That one, no one can fault you. But if it's a situation whereby it was just maybe at that point, Seth, you knew that your guy had like 3 exes at the same time. That kind of thing is a different ball game. So, but I think, yeah, if they're in a serious, if it's something serious, they're dating, blah blah blah. Obviously, I think it's off limits.
LMJ, but let's even say you ask for permission and he says no. And for some reason, I don't want to say the lady ticks all your boxes because I don't think anybody can necessarily tick another person's all the boxes, but most of the boxes. This is someone that gives you genuine happiness and stuff like that. Wouldn't you look at it and be like, I'm on to hell with the broken. This baby makes me happy.
Not to sound judgmental, but
please come closer to your mic.
Like I say, not to sound judgmental, but I would like to tread along the path that Abolish treaded to, in the sense that if they were actually serious, if they were serious, and it just happened that things didn't work out, like you would have to be cynical, or you would have to not to be a fake friend for you to now say she's of all the over 3 billion women in the world, she's not the one that
ticks all your boxes.
That ticks all your boxes, that lights up your world. I think it's hypocritical. You must have been eyeing her while they were dating, and that is why, like, I just feel like there are some lines that should not be crossed, because a lot of complexity comes into it, especially if you are talking friend. There's Facebook has destroyed the meaning of friend now, where you now call your father, your mother, your friend, because you are friends on Facebook and all of that shit. But in the real context of friendship, there's almost a bond. There must have been interaction that you even had with the girl when they were dating. Like, there's a little bit of complexity that comes with it. Now, crossing that line from she being your friend's babe to not being your babe, it's not something that sits well with me. Maybe because I'm a Yoruba man, that might be it too. Because
you have a very valid point. Because if you also look at it from another angle, if you are friends, that means you are going to be in contact with the person even after you start dating the person. So it just makes everything weird. If you want, there are so many things that can go wrong in that scenario where you are dating someone that your friend has dated, and no matter how you want, it will be awkward. No matter how you want
Awkward.
to phrase that,
That's
you guys are not friends. If you are just acquaintances that you guys just know from afar, that one is different. But if it's your friend, that means it's someone that you sometimes go out with, you spend time with, you probably think of doing business with, you probably are thinking of things to do together. Like if you go that, probably when you are getting married, better you bring your men's groom, stuff like that. So it's just a very, very awkward situation to put yourself in.
Like a friend of mine suggested, it's better for you not to even put yourself in that situation at all. Just carry your kaya and just be going in a different direction. Just walk away and not even put yourself in that situation from the beginning at all. Because if you are not there in that situation in the beginning, you cannot be catching unnecessary feelings. You cannot be telling yourself that, oh my God, I'm catching feelings. You get you feelings will not appear and disappear and come and meet you. I saw a particular comment on Instagram, a particular video where a guy said, oh, a friend of his, like a lady messaged him and said, hey, what's up? And he was like, oh, I'm a bit down, I'm not happy, life is blah blah blah. The way life gets at times. I'm sure at some point it would have been that situation whereby it feels like nothing is working out for a guy. And she was like, oh, let me cheer you up, let me take you out. And the next thing, he goes out with this lady, then they have a nice time at the restaurant, blah blah blah. And they bring the check and she passes it to him that, oh yeah, now pay. Pay. You're the one that said you wanted to cheer me up and take me out. What do you mean by I should pay? So the guy had to pay and eventually went to him and was like, oh, was talking about how bad it is. Yes, that's bad. But another thing I feel like as guys, the mistake we make sometimes is sometimes you know the kind of person that person is. Like you know the kind of person that this person is, but okay, this is the kind of person he is. And if you fall into the situation of you want to use money to impress some kind of people or some babes or what have you, you will cry. Like you will definitely cry. Because if you use money to throw some kind of babes, there are people that have more money than you have. Maybe you have money like Elemeje, I don't know. But if you don't have money like Elemeje, trust me, you will cry.
Yeah,
I think okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think we are beginning to set some very ridiculous standards that we can't keep up with. In the sense that we are in a time and age whereby guys will message a girl on Instagram and ask for their account number and send them money just because they want the girl to chat with them. Like the first day I heard of that particular situation, I was in perpetual chain reaction shock. Like I was shocked. I would sit down, I'll pause for like 5 seconds, I'll say again. I'll be like, hey. So, like I think we're getting into crazy times where substance and value is no longer a thing to be found in our society. Maybe because of the huge uprising of internet fraud, Yahoo, or whatever you might like to term it. Is the fact that these guys no longer see value in money because they don't actually earn this money, and they feel like the whole essence of their being is in the amount of money they can flash at women. Case and point aside. So in a situation whereby that kind of particular instance happens to me, I feel like you rightly pointed out, you should have known the kind of person you are going out with. And you should have known the premise and the possibilities of things that can occur. So it shouldn't come as a shock to you that kind of person is not passing you the bill. You for don't know. And I think it was still today, I posted something in my status that if all the ladies you are meeting are those that would constantly bill you at every hello you send to them, it probably shows that something is wrong with you.
You need to check yourself.
You need to check yourself, because why is that every girl where you once you say hello, that time will finish. Once you try to check up on them, that's the particular time they will remember that their rent has want to finish. Like there's something wrong with you, man. There's something really wrong with you. You need to check the circle of friends. You need to check what you are doing. You need to check the way you are acting? Are you projecting yourself as somebody that the only value you have is in your bank account? Outside that, you can't offer any other thing. Because these ladies are now beginning to inculcate this entitlement mentality. There's this common saying now that if you cannot press Oga shift, like it started off as a joke, but now they are making like it's becoming
What are they pressing?
like if you cannot press, like what's the meaning? I now asked naively, like what's the meaning of press? They say if you cannot send money. So for me to for us to have a chat, I must first send money to you because you are what? You are the custodian of CBN. Like it makes absolutely no sense to me. So you might call me a millennial, you might call me an oldie, but I still don't accustom my value to the amount in my bank account. I would never do that. I would not start that, and I don't think it's the right way anyway. So I'm not pressing.
Bullish. Element said they are using pressing to cover up for a lack of reason.
And so I think that's usually the case. That's why people lead with money when they feel like I don't think. So the thing that is the first thing is the intention is obviously purely going to be sexual, I think, and then they feel like I can't talk my way into getting the action or talk my way into even meeting the person, or I can't even put two words together. That's one of the first things they point to, and I think another thing is maybe when it is clear from both parties. You know, there are sometimes that people pretend that they are what they are trying to do is hook up or not. There are sometimes where it is clear from the hooker and the hooky that this is a hookup scenario. I think that's when
Who's the hooker?
the hooky and the hooker.
Who is hooky?
They are clear from the onset. That's why you see people that are bold to ask for money, you know, ask for things that probably in a normal cordial conversation probably not come to place. But for that scenario you mentioned, I think from the onset you should know the kind of person you are going out with, because it's important to know. You need to know. There's some people that even guys, there's some guys that will ask you to come out. If I don't have my money in my pocket, I'll not go. Yes, we know that most times if a guy say, Alpha, I did whatever, meet me or come meet me. Most times, especially if it's your friend, most times, 90% of the time, the person is telling you to come because they will foot the bill. But there are some people there are some guys that I know that if they call me say, Alpha, I did exporter, they come. I'll just be like, I don't know. I'll make up something, because if you go and go and eat catfish, the bone will hook your throat last. The bone will hook your throat. I eat catfish and they say, okay, now that's it that you go pay. That's it. Now you go pay. I have one very funny story like that. Back in Nife, there was one guy that I was like, you know, the time boys are like the brokest is immediately after exam, before they now replenish you for money that used to go home. So there was one period like that. I think it was maybe final level first semester. We just finished all the exam, last paper. Just we got back to the room, hunger the key boys. My roommate, he traveled like a day before. I think he went for something, so he was not around. So normally, if I no get, I for don't tap and say, oh, yeah, fine, make go chop. But he was not around. So okay, and I was expecting he was coming back. So I don't already call and say, like, please don't come back to this Ife without food. Bring food. Don't even bring money first. First bring food and food items from house. So this guy just came. I'll use name. I'll call Bulashi. Polish, let's go and eat. Okay, no problem now. Let's go. There's one woman that sells Igbo eba with egusi. Plate, 3 meat, pure water, 200. Is together combo.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yes. So the man served me. Since now my guy, I just chop. I don't think I chop finish. Make we dey go. My guy pay for only himself.
Brother,
What's going on here? Guy, waiting you pay this woman now. And 200 naira is so small that you cannot. Guy, pay this woman. He say, you don't really get money. And that's luckily for me, the woman, I'm though I have many regular spots in Ife that all of them they know. So the man was like, Uncle, if you come back next time, you can pay me. I say, voila. But imagine if it was not somewhere like that, that it was somewhere that those ones they'll close their eye and want to embarrass you or want to collect their money on the
you don't
spot.
go buy detergents. They wash plates now.
So there are some people that whether guy or girl, they don't understand the concept of how interactions and they are stingy. You know those kind of people. So that guy since that time, though I chop him a couple of times too, but since that time you just know this kind of person. You cannot rely on them for something like that. But there's people that we tell you say, Alpha, where you dey? Let's go and eat. For example,
Like
I will mention
if Polish should tell you how far where you dey, forget everything is settled.
I call you name. If a liar should say Alpha, may we go chop. All bills on the last. You know that you eat, you satisfied, your system, everything will be okay. So it's just I think just knowing, and there are some babes too. There's some babes too. If Lara should call me now, back in Ife, Lara say Alpha, Shomajo or something. I know that I'll be well taken care of.
You see, that's even the funny part. A lot of guys, like even the ones that are pressing or not pressing, let me even say for the younger guys that have little to no experience in terms of dealing with women, let me make it clear now for those that do not know. Women spend money on guys that they like. Forget it. It's not a debate.
Preach.
Women spend money on guys that they like. It's not what they like you come correct. Maybe you at least you know how to do the needful in terms of taking care of them, and they'll spend money on you. They'll buy you gifts, they'll call, take you out, buy things for you, suddenly send you things randomly, like wondering, okay, this is it. So, body, I'll be storing my mind very soon.
See, go on. No, I not. You said I not saying anything. I was just go on.
So, if you are constantly always around people that are telling you to press, like Elemeje said, something is genuinely wrong with you.
Like when Polish was talking, I got the full phrase. The full phrase was if you know if you press, clear. If you know if you press. So Gen Z, they will be the end of us. They will be the end of all of us.
No, I don't think. But there's one thing I like Gen Z for, actually, guys. There's one thing I like Gen Z for. One thing I like them for is that they're never shy. See, we as millennials, and some things we cannot say. Gen Z can drag anybody. I don't know if you guys remember the old Pastor Adeboye stuff that one thing. Like they sense any form of lie like this. You will collect. And that's why I like them. Before we can come out and start talking about, before we start dragging other people, we'll be like, we'll be shy about it. Gen Z is like, for me. How? What do you mean by that? That's not true. That's a lie. It's not giving. You are lying. It's not aligning. So that's the one thing about them. They're not shy to speak their mind at all. Like, you will collect immediately and they will clear you immediately that
when they are speaking rubbish. Even like have you ever had an interaction with somebody on Twitter where the person is clearly wrong, like it's clearly wrong, but the person will be quoting very scrupulous facts, like made up facts, especially football Twitter. Like you just see them and you'll be like, wow, Pep Guardiola. Like, and they will be like with zeal, with passion, with like providence, like lie providence. Because they lie them up and down, you'll be like, wow, these Gen Zs, they blow me off my feet every single time. Like,
they are not shy about that. So when you're talking about press, anyway, Polish was distracting me before. If a lady likes you, she's going to get you, no matter how small it is. Like you would know that from what she has, she's willing to get you things from what she has. So, and if you're always with people that are press like Eleme just said, or collect or do this, blah blah blah, and the worst part is, some people will tell you that, oh, I'm in a talking stage with a babe. Okay, how far now? No problem. Have you seen her before? No. Does she call you? No. When you call her, does she spend time? Does she want to talk to you and stuff like that? No. It's not a talking stage. You are in a preliminary whatever stage you want to call it. You are wasting your time, because there's no form of talking stage polish that should exist in it. If a talking stage, if whether it's a guy or a girl, if a talking stage can go 3 days or 1 week or a few days without talking to you, it's not talking stage, because talking stage is before the relationship, right? Anybody that can go 2 days or 3 days without talking to you before you enter a relationship can obviously do the same thing in a relationship.
Yeah.
So that's like a talking stage.
So so what exactly are you trying to clarify? I need to know what you're trying to clarify.
No, what I'm trying to clarify in the essence is that
with Wale, you have to be clear.
Wait, let me defend myself. Please. Let me defend myself. Let me defend myself.
If you cannot press, clear, please.
Let me not even deceive myself. The minute I start seeing signs about if you cannot press clear, I know how to play. I know how to play in the other direction. I don't deceive myself at all. Anyway, back to what I was saying regarding the open stage stuff. I know I've heard instances, or I've seen instances whereby one party, whether it's the guy, whether it's the girl, the person is going, oh, I really like him or I really like her, but she's not forthcoming, she's not responding. I feel like I need to put in more effort, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. There's a limit to the number of efforts you should put in. If you get to certain points, you need to tell yourself that, okay, this person is obviously not interested. That's exactly what I'm trying to preach here, bullish. I'm not defending anything.
No, you're right. You know, you're the professor in these things. So whatever you say is law and authority. I like the fact that you clarify and you make it clear. You know, it's good to have clear, unambiguous statements in these matters. So you are very correct. You're very right. You know, talking stages, you have to, most of the things that happen in the relationship, you can start kind of predict during talking stage. If the way the person behaves, the way the person interacts with you, maybe things can get a little better, but most times, most of the green flags, most of the red flags, you see them during the talking stage. And on that note, Clippers are currently dealing with the Mavericks 30-14 in the first quarter.
10 points lead in the first quarter, like crazy. So, but like, I'm just out of curiosity, like, who comes up with all this term? Like, during our time, like when we were still in the market, we didn't have anything, like we didn't have the term talking stage. Like
talking,
they always coin these things. Like those days, you ask a babe out, like after a couple of days, you expect a reply. Like we know they
afterwards. Wait. What you say afterwards?
No verse. Polish, please stop, please.
No, I didn't hear you now. Afterwards, I didn't get that.
I said during our time.
Okay, go on.
I said during our time. After many days.
I think the advent of social media and all of these things is what is causing all of this complication. I said during one time, you just like if you see the way they feel now, like you just walk up to her, you guys gist, you guys talk.
Yeah, I get that. You said after how many days you give an answer?
After a couple days now, you get the answer from her. You guys.
No. Even during our time, I disagree. Days, it depends on the kind of babe or the kind of person you are as a guy.
Wale, we know your experience. We know your experience.
I'm not talking about my experience now. Wait. I'm not talking about my experience now.
Our experience differs. Anyway, so.
Yeah. So
I'm not talking about my experience now.
Wait. Let me just confess. Which is who comes up with all this time? I think social media, podcasts, and people that like to speak plenty English.
Yeah.
All this, like I was having a conversation with someone, and they were telling me about not love language, not toxic trait. There's not another one. Kiniko, and antiquated Kiniko, analytical, clinical, behavioral, and anthropological. I had to power for the best day. Hey. Spencer sent me Instagram video. Let me even see. Spencer sent me Instagram video. I said, all these things you are saying, someone just want to make money from podcasts. And the person now, and they will now speak, okay.
Just slept and came up with a new term.
Avoidment, attachment, rehabilitation. Okay. If you have avoidment attachment, we can rehabilitate you.
Those two words are even ironic. Like,
as in, see, all those things is podcast. I'm telling you, podcasts are number one. Where someone will just sit down, instead of analyzing a factual event, they just look at, okay, how can I create controversy? Okay, the 7th year of the moon, every 3 quarters of that 7th year of the moon, if you kiss 3 times, statistics shows that 75% of the time, 75% of the time, when you kiss for 75 seconds, you can establish a circadian reading of 6.2. And if you look at a circadian reading of 6.2, it can help to elevate the oxytocin, and therefore you can lose calories by establishing a rhythmic kissing. And you'll be like, who did the statistics? Who did the analysis? Who did the breakdown?
Where is the statistics?
You just be hearing, it has been proven that 85% of people that, I'm like, 85% of where, who, and what? So it's things like that. And
from which position?
And the way they say it, the English, the environment, the calmness, there'll be 2 plants in the background, one of those plants. There'll be one fine design on the wall, and the person will now be solemn. When 65% of, and when people speak like that, that's what the Gen Z see, and then before you know it, they start using it to talk to Wale when they are discussing
Anyway,
population.
Oh my god. Please, can I focus on Elemeje's point of 2 or 3 days now before I forget? Because even back in OAU days, like Elemeje was mentioning, I know someone that, you guys know Fox and Figures now, Motion Ground.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was at the front of Motion Ground, and I think he had toasted this babe, like he had wooed this babe for a few weeks before then. I think we're in 200 level or so back then. And this guy was at the front of Fox and Fingers calling. I was like, hi, how far now? Kiniko, blah, 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 and what have you. And it's like, I've been talking to you for a while, blah, 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 and all those things. You've not responded now. Kiniko. Then at some point, his speech started to go up. Like, you could notice that he was getting frustrated. And next thing you know, he was telling the babe that the babe should give him an answer. And the babe made something clear. Do you want an answer now? Or do you want me to give an answer now? Or do you want me to continue thinking about it? And the guy was like, no problem. You don't have to give me an answer now. So it was obvious to him that the babe was going to give him a flat out no at that point. So it probably just felt, okay, you know what? I can continue to show my game, whatever reason I have, whatever skills I have to try and impress her over time to get a yes or something like that. So if the reason why I'm pointing out that sometimes it's not always a case of, even back then, it's not always a case of, oh, she would respond in 2 days or 3 days or 1 week or what have you. There are instances whereby there are people that will tell you back in Ife that, I paid for like 3 months before she agree. Or I thought to pay for like 2 months before she agree. All those things. If it's a babe, we say, okay, like guys will say, okay, you just, nothing serious, like Bolish mentioned, the hooker and the hooky. That's fine, that's a different thing. That's fine, that's a different thing. But if we told some babes 1 month, 2 months, she go still they look, you go, okay, impressed me. Back then, when we know you go, okay, you know what, impressed me. And impressed me, if you not even be Fox and Fingers. You said one shoulder and strength, okay, I'm a baller. New Booker is there, yeah, let's go.
I think maybe where my misconception came from is the fact that I'm suffering that disease that Polish talked about, detachment, fabrications, something. So
Avoidance attachment therapy.
avoidance attachment therapy. So like I dey quick move on. Like after 2-3 days, if I'm not getting a good vibe, like
So
I don't.
after 2-3 days, if you don't get yes, you don't come out.
It doesn't have to be a flat out yes, but you go give me like green light, like
That's a different thing. That's as in
like,
she's more receptive. That's a different
get,
thing. Yes.
like give me vibe. Say I think there was one instance then, and the babe was like, "Oh, a particular guy in chemical was already on our case," and I was like, "Oh, I understand boundaries, oh." So we're just close. Anytime we see an amphi, we gist, we hug. Like let us know what we are doing. They are montage.
And she's being receptive. Like that's a different thing. I
yes,
feel
like,
you've cleared it now. It's not a case of yes or no.
I read on Twitter now. It's like Ashemawashi talking stage is 6 months, like probation.
Haba. That's too much,
like,
haba. 6 months. Okay.
Like,
So
maybe I'm too old for it. So that was why I asked the question anyway.
I feel like our time is fast spent and we have to call it a night and move on to next week. Like Polish mentioned, the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks game is going on for those that would like to catch up on it later. We'll probably discuss more on the NBA playoffs next week. And guys, ladies, there's no reason why talking stage should last for 6 months. You are not planning coup. It's not politics. It's not election. 6 months. What are you talking about? Mouth no go pin on her. Anyway, I'm about to sign out. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Who's the professor?
There's only one professor among us.
Elemaje, please say your goodbyes. Let's call it a night. I'm tired of Polish this night.
Thank you, guys. This was a great one, even though we didn't have the full house. I wished we had the full house because Aki is more in the married man phase now. He's getting into the married man phase.
You have more experience.
The last one, my baby was telling me like she liked the way Aki was. Like Aki was the only one talking like from a woman's perspective. All of us were just talking like guys. We are not considering them. So I kind of miss Aki a little bit because he's not giving us the ladies' perspective. So this was great, guys.
You should not worry. I'll wear the wig the next pod so that I'll talk from you.
His body that said it. Look at his hand, please. In case you want to come for him.
Oh my god. My hands are clean, no big deal.
All right, guys. Have a lovely weekend, everybody.